Ms. Tsongas for her opening statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Director Cornsey and Chief Tidwell, for testifying before the committee today. Great to have you here. Both the Bureau of Land Management and the U.S. Forest Service are tasked with the management of an incredibly diverse array of assets, ranging from forests and grasslands that provide critical wildlife habitat, support livestock grazing and timber harvesting, and provide clean water and open spaces across the country, to cultural and historic resources like the ruins of Agua Fria National Monument in Arizona and the canyons of the Ancients National Monument in Colorado, both of which protect historical ruins from cultures and traditions dating back thousands of years. The public lands managed by your agencies belong to all Americans. Through effective management, we can protect resilient ecosystems, provide recreational opportunities, promote responsible economic development, and preserve historic American landscapes for future generations. As you both are well aware, changes in our climate, drought, and insect infestation are creating significant management challenges. We are confronting more intense, longer wildfire seasons, and fire suppression costs are tying up appropriated funds intended for forest restoration and hazardous fuels reduction. In the case of the Forest Service, firefighting now accounts for 50% of the entire Forest Service budget. Chief Tidwell, I recognize the budgeting challenges you face, and I'm eager to hear more about the budget's proposal for a disaster cap adjustment that will help finance the largest and most expensive fires. Large, dynamic fires are natural disasters, not just isolated incidents, and they need to be treated as such. While New England does not experience the same type of devastating, catastrophic wildfires that this budget proposal seeks to address, we are negatively impacted by the lost funding for other forest management programs. I look forward to working with you and the members of the committee on this issue. Director Kunze, as you mentioned in your written testimony, next year is the 50th anniversary of the National Landscape Conservation System. National conservation lands contain some of the BLM's crown jewels, including national monuments, wilderness areas, national scenic and historic trails, and national wild and scenic rivers. These lands represent a small portion of the total land managed by your agency, but they host 1/4 of all visitors to BLM lands. They also support a range of recreation opportunities and support the economies of surrounding communities. Since its inception, the system has suffered from significant underfunding, since consistently receiving less than $3 per acre. The President's budget requests an increase of $11.2 million for our national conservation lands, which will support improved support for recreation and visitor services and help the agency keep up with increasingly challenging management needs caused by drought, climate change, and other threats to these nationally significant resources. I'm also looking forward to hearing your testimony about BLM's investments to preventing a listing of the sage grouse under the Endangered Species Act. All of us here on the committee would prefer to avoid listing of this species, but it cannot be done without the proper investments to protect sage grouse habitat and strategic planning. I also want to applaud you for this budget's investments in renewable energy. I recently read a great article in Time magazine about the Desert Sunlight Solar Farm in California's Mojave Desert, which is the largest solar plant operating on federal lands. With solar and other renewable energy sectors growing at extraordinary rates, the prospect for renewable energy development on public lands is particularly exciting. As the article noted, prior to 2008, there were no solar projects approved on BLM land. Today, there are 29 approved projects, which contributed to the 86% job growth we have seen in the solar industry since 2010. Chief Tidwell and Director Kunze, I know that firefighting and species recovery are not the only budget challenges you face. We all recognize that more work can be done on our public lands to promote the preservation of endangered species, build healthy watersheds, protect clean air, sequester carbon, and provide ample recreation opportunities. Your budget proposals demonstrate that responsible economic development can be incorporated into sound environmental stewardship of lands that belong to all Americans. We all should recognize the importance of ending sequestration and making lasting, sustained investments in the health of our ecosystems. This budget sets us in the right direction. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
I thank the gentlelady for her opening